Elite. B, elite. Cease, desist, cease and desist. The Young Bucks are fighting Jon Moxley and Kingston in a tag team match for the AEW titles. Okay, yeah, I know that was terrible, I think. But anyways, the Young Bucks are back to being New Japan Young Bucks with more shots than ever in WWE. Because Jon Moxley's in this feud, so they have to make them obligatory shots in their contracts. That's at least my conspiracy theory. And yeah, the Bucks go and do their big pose. Yeah, we're getting ready and whatnot. Though before this, I do want to go ahead and talk about the Acclaim for a second. I'm actually hoping they're the ones that dethrone the Young Bucks because oh god, they've gone so well in the last few months, especially with the rapping. I can't wait to see how they would go ahead and tear down the Young Bucks. Maybe bring up the fact that the only way they're getting over in wrestling is how they use shots. Uh, it'd be kind of funny if they did that. And after that whole call your girl, she only my mentions, try and hit me up for some oral sessions, and I was like, oh fuck, like, oh god, Moxley's gonna kill someone, isn't he? And then, sure enough, when Mac goes ahead and says, I double and ooh, he's out. And the Young Bucks pose and Eddie and John attack, beating the hell out of them. Then they go ahead and basically have a borderline street fight and they try to take down Cutler. But, yeah, sleeper to Cutter, have Nelson suplex with a clothesline to boot. And then they finally start the tag team match, and there are a lot of factors into this match. The fact that the Good Brothers were quickly dealt with instead of relying on the Good Brothers to give them the victory, it is something so rewarding. But man, the story here they had leading into this match, since the Elite are now reformed back into BC USA, as I like to refer to them as, or BC Elite, or just the Elite. I just like to add BC USA because it helps with the division that Bullet Club will go to war soon in their second Civil War event. We still need to wait till America and Japan get their COVID vaccinations, especially Japan, since they've had like several state of emergencies in the last few weeks. That and WWE continues to act like they could not try and buy out Japan and try and go ahead and, take over the company in their partnership deal. Evolve. So the Young Bucks and Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley go to tag team warfare. And I was honestly thinking this was it. The Young Bucks are going to lose the titles. They've had a long reign. I don't know how else you could keep this going. It's probably going to be as good as it gets, unless the Young Bucks turn face with Hangman. I don't know how they are going to top it, but like this would be the perfect time to drop it. Like I know people would probably think, oh, the Young Bucks are egotistical politicians, even though they admitted they wanted to wait another year before they won the gold, and Tony Khan made that call, so that, and while you could make the argument they're lying, that's clearly not the case from what it sounds like from reports. But okay, the Young Bucks and Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. I mean, like I know when people talk about why does WWE force random tag teams to get together. I think one of the major problems with it, like the reason why people say, "Whoa, the only tag team that really worked was the Iconics," like Nia and Shayna. Is like you're trying to force these two together, and a lot of people don't really like Nia for various reasons. But I'm thinking to myself half the time, I think the major thing is that WWE doesn't really want to build a chemistry with these people. Like, they don't want to test it out, like have promos and whatnot, which led to this immense problem with the whole involvement of women wrestling, because the women's tag team division is dead in the water in WWE. But yeah, the Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston, they hit it off like rather instantly because they have that friendship. They have years of being friends, and they have that storyline connectivity where Jon Moxley's trying to save his old friend from walking the dark path and whatnot, and he keeps trying to reject it. But the moment Jon Moxley's life was in danger, Eddie Kingston came out to be a bro. We're gonna die like bros, man. And they and you know how that went. Oh gosh. Oh, why did AEW sign that? I'm pretty sure AEW signed some NDA agreement regarding the sparkler effects. Because wow. Because because AEW probably would have blasted them on the microphone. Like, that would have been the ultimate shot. I'm like, yeah, WWE's free market when it comes to getting them shots at. But yeah, I keep thinking, while it is possible, it's not possible. It ain't really true. But the company that gave them the explosives probably did have an NDA agreement, and now they can't really say who's the company that did it unless people want to investigate themselves. But you know, we got to demonize AEW, who 20 times more than WWE, even though WWE does questionable stuff like 75% of the time. Like, Aleister Black, like, I don't like that he was fired, but I'm surprised he's saying good things. So, full points on that. Much to the confusing tribalist viewpoint, because Z1G, he's being respectful. But yeah, back to this. I went on a tangent. So yeah, the Good Brothers tried to help in this match. That failed miserably because they forget that there's the Elite Hunter, Frankie Kazarian. He goes out and kicks their ass and gets them out of the arena. Well, I think it's Carl Anderson he throws out, but Eddie Kingston got rid of Doc Gallows. So now the Young Bucks are on their own, and I believe it's Matt takes a spray and cold spray and sprays it in Jon Moxley's face and hits him over the head. Also, what is with the hair dye? I was wondering that. Are they trying to really differentiate themselves, or are they just like, well, we're supposed to be cartoonishly over the top with our antics, so we might as well go cartoonishly over the top with our aesthetics? And yeah. Yeah, it's Matt who sprayed cold spray. Then throws a can to his head in very funny fashion. But yeah, John is cut open. Jon Moxley must bleed contractually every pay-per-view and every 2 Dynamites. And then Jon Moxley tries to fight, and then it gets to the most hilarious moment, and it just makes me wish we could get one crossover match with WWE and AEW. The Young Bucks do this, and do the ooh trying to mock the Shield, the action that Jon Moxley was known for. Well, he was also known for his insanity in ZCW, but that's beside the point. It was like, okay, the more you take a shot at the Shield, the more I really want to see the best thing going in WWE versus the best thing going outside of WWE. Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief, versus the Belt Collector, Kenny Omega, in Mortal Kombat. Like, that's a match I really want to see because of how hyped it could get. Like, you would have the independent wrestling fans who want to say F the system, and then you got the WWE fans who will go to war for anything, and their tribalists will defend them to the death. A little too much, though. And sure enough, they don't do the triple power bomb as much as they could, as much as they wish they could. That because they have a third guy missing, so Kenny Omega's gonna prepare for his war with Orange Cassidy, man, and in the Buster Puck. And Eddie Kingston tries to get involved. Yeah, there was also like every time when I was watching this, when the Young Bucks kept getting involved, like I'm like, why is the ref not really refereeing? Like I know I think they have teased that the idea that ref is specifically an elite supporter, but I was thinking to myself, it would have made more sense if they just made this a tornado tag team match, because everything about this match was very tornado tag team esque. So, yeah, that's a criticism I can give. And they take out Eddie Kingston after he gets in. Then Jon Moxley's bleeding profusely, crimson mask and everything. I'm pretty sure Jim Ross was like, I get to say my damn favorite lines and not talk about this flippity bullshit. Because he really has a struggle with the new wrestling styles of today. Like, he could handle it back then when it was not as big and, rubber supply on the verge of bankruptcy because they spent so much on selling it to the highest bidder wrestlers, trying to augment their bloodstream and bones with rubber. And sure enough, the Young Bucks used a lot of rubber for their surgery because they bounced around a lot, even when it was Moxley and Kingston they were fighting. So, and then the Young Bucks go ahead and land their kicks on Moxley, and then he gets up at one. He shocks the world, and he's like, ugh. Like I'm getting that same vibe of when Kenny kicked out the golden trigger at one, and it's just pounding the ground in energy and hype. Though, and the crowd was into it. Like, it would have been the value of that moment would have been ruined if there was no crowd or very little crowd. So it was nice to see 5,000 people explode in crazed jubilation to see their hardcore hero jump out of the super kick move. And then they do the BTE trigger, and Moxley's still standing like, and then they do it three more times for added effect to really sell the fact that they're trying to kill him. And they tell Ray to take him down Kingston. And then there's a bit of miscommunication with the tag teams, which, considering how tornado-esque this has been, yeah, that was to be expected. Where Matt is trying to stop Kingston from trying to help, but then Nick's like, Matt, you're the legal guy. Oh, this was all part of my plan. And gets the 1, 2, 3 for his team. Like, I really was hoping that this was the end of the Young Bucks reign because it just felt like the right time. Now it's like, oh, well, what do we take this now? Like, do they lose it at All Out? Like, some people don't know what's in store. Some people think it's going to go to... like, someone proposed this idea for the Young Bucks where they'll go and drop the tag team belts in a triple threat ladder triple TLC style matchup. They'll probably give it a different name because WWE's probably going to say, we copyrighted the word bitch. Even though you can't really copyright public domain names, I think. Tables, ladders, and chairs, I'm pretty sure you can't copyright the very concept of that. But who am I supposed to know? I'm just a fan. Not a legal person, unless WWE banks on TLC specifically. Or they could call it that Mexican version of TLC, where they did the Pentagon Jr. and Ray Phoenix match with the Young Bucks. I'm amazed that they are still alive after that. The amount of rubber that was used in that production was not to be messed with. But yeah, so Moxley didn't show up on the Dynamite after Double or Nothing, so I think they're still selling the idea he's hurt. That, and also because his wife's coming with a baby soon, so I'm pretty sure they're trying to, give him some time to go out. So, yeah. And Eddie Kingston is now trying to look like if he can realign his allegiance with the Busted and the Lucha Bros in the wake of Ray Phoenix's temporary injury, because that happened in Mexico. Damn you, rubber supply industry! So, yeah. As for the Young Bucks, they look like their war's just beginning with the rest of the tag team division, all 52 of them. Because they have a lot of tag teams, because they have a faction belief that everyone in AEW must be part of a group, or a manager, or anything really. Heck, the recent signing of Andrade Cien Almas El Idolo must be signed to a faction. So Vicky, you go do it. I mean, like, we would try to get Selena, but I think she was trying to return to WWE, and well, we're still questioning her logic on that now after her husband was fired. Oh man. Anyways, so yeah. Um, let's see where the Young Bucks take their reign next. I'm still thinking now. It's like I keep thinking it's like the Dark Order could probably take it, and they cross over Hangman and Kenny eventually because Hangman's buddies with the Dark Order. Or they could go ahead and have Death Triangle finally dethrone the tag belts, even though they beat them all. They could go the route of Pride and Powerful, LAX, defeating them finally after so many years of after their first encounter ended with them defeating them, and they were so close that one time when they were faces. Oh man, there's several routes they could take this, and here's the thing: I know people will say, but they just already beat them. But at the same time, it's like I get it, I really do. But at the same time, it's like they also have so much far between timeline with matches. It doesn't feel as rushed in terms of we gotta get this out, we gotta get this out, we gotta get this out. Plus, I get the feeling if they drop it in Chicago, I'm pretty sure that's gonna be the plan. Wouldn't be surprised, but we'll have to see on that, and we're gonna have to see if the best in the world's gonna show up, or MJF is gonna do the ultimate heel tactic. Please, for God's sakes, just do it, MJF, or both. Like MJF comes out with cult of personality, pisses off all Chicago to the point they want to chase him out of town with pitchforks and torches. Then their hero CM Punk comes out and GTS's MJF and says, "I'm back," like he did in WWE when he came back after 2 weeks, which is still a bad timing to do that. They could have sold it more. But anyway, so enough about that. And enough about the what if CM Punk's Summer of Punk stuff actually went a lot longer and much more well thought out. So we're going to have to see where that goes. Heading all the way to All Out in August. I mean, to September. Then we have to also see Andrade in the shadows. Aleister Black, Tommy End's probably interested if they think about it. We'll have to see. But it ultimately depends on where the Young Bucks take this. So I'm curious to know where they're going to go, but we'll have to see. Still kind of rooting for the Acclaim to take the titles off them, honestly. I'm like, their rapping has really improved, and now they're at John Cena levels of pissing people off. Though, without the actual "you hurt my feelings" backstage reaction that he did get. Yeah, that was a thing. But that's that. But this isn't. But that's future wise. This is now. So this was Near Reality Entertainment, the WrestleVerse presenting the Young Bucks versus Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. Or we could bring Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa in and have New Japan take the belts. Like AEW does kind of owe the independent wrestling scene some titles since they stole all most of Impact's for a little bit. Oh boy. And they still have the world title, and they still have the Mega Championship. Yeah. So, anyways, those were my thoughts on the Young Bucks versus Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston at Double or Nothing 2021 of AEW programming for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, check out my other content in the description below. Stay tuned for more, and I'll see you all next time. Peace and take care.